Have you ever wondered how a story that begins in a humble stable can end with a king on a throne? That's the incredible journey of Jesus, a path marked by prophecy, purpose, and a powerful message for all of us. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most pivotal moments of this journey, the triumphal entry into Jerusalem. It's a story many of us have heard, but when you look closer, you see a masterfully woven tapestry of ancient prophecy and divine intention. This isn't just about a parade. It's about the declaration of a king, but not the kind of king anyone expected. Let's set the scene. Jerusalem is buzzing. It's the time of Passover, and the city is overflowing with pilgrims from all over, their hearts filled with anticipation for the festival. The air is thick with expectation, not just for the religious ceremonies, but for a political Messiah. For centuries, the Jewish people had been waiting for a deliverer, a powerful leader from the line of David who would overthrow their Roman oppressors and restore Israel to its former glory. They imagined a warrior king, someone who would ride in on a mighty war horse, leading an army to victory. Into this charged atmosphere, Jesus makes his entrance, but he doesn't arrive like a conquering general. Instead, he chooses a young donkey, an animal of peace and humility. This choice is deliberate, a direct and public fulfillment of a prophecy made over 500 years earlier by the prophet Zechariah. In Zechariah chapter 9, it says, "Rejoice greatly, daughter Zion. Shout, daughter Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey." Think about the power of this moment. Jesus is consciously stepping into the role foretold by the prophets. He is sending a clear message to everyone watching. I am the one you have been waiting for. I am your king. But by choosing a donkey, he's also redefining what it means to be king. His kingdom isn't about military might or political power. It's a kingdom of peace, humility, and service. He is a gentle king, a sovereign who comes, not to conquer by force, but to win hearts through love and sacrifice. This one act beautifully encapsulates Jesus' entire ministry. From his birth in a simple stable, not a royal palace, his life consistently defied worldly expectations of power and greatness. He spent his time with the marginalized, the poor, and the outcasts. He taught about serving others, loving your enemies, and the first being last. His entry into Jerusalem on a donkey wasn't a deviation from his mission. It was the perfect summary of it. He was living out the very principles he taught, showing that true strength is found in gentleness and true royalty is found in humility. Now imagine being in that crowd. The people are ecstatic. They see Jesus, the miracle worker, the man who healed the sick and raised the dead, and they believe their moment of liberation has arrived. They spread their cloaks on the road, a gesture of honor reserved for royalty. They cut palm branches and waved them, shouting, "Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our father David. Hosanna in the highest heaven." Hosanna is a powerful word. It literally means save us, we pray. It was a cry for salvation, a plea for deliverance. They were shouting for a king to save them from Rome. They were hailing the coming of a political kingdom. Their enthusiasm was real, their hope was palpable, but their understanding was incomplete. They saw a king who would solve their immediate earthly problems, but Jesus had a much deeper, more eternal salvation in mind. This is where the story takes a dramatic and sobering turn. We see a stark and almost jarring contrast between the celebration of the triumphal entry and the events that would unfold just a few days later. The very same city that welcomed him with shouts of Hosanna would soon be filled with cries of "Crucify him." The crowds that praised him as their king would stand by as he was condemned, mocked, and executed. How could things change so drastically, so quickly? It's because Jesus wasn't the Messiah they wanted. They wanted a king who would fight their battles for them. Jesus came to fight a battle they couldn't see, the battle against sin and death. They wanted a crown of gold. He was on his way to a crown of thorns. They wanted a throne of power. He was headed for a wooden cross. The path from the stable was always leading to the cross. The triumphal entry wasn't the destination. It was a crucial milestone on the road to his ultimate purpose. This journey was entirely intentional. Jesus knew exactly what awaited him in Jerusalem. He told his disciples multiple times that he would suffer, be rejected, and be killed. Yet he set his face toward the city with unwavering resolve. His entry wasn't a miscalculation or a failed attempt at a political revolution. It was the willing, deliberate first step of the final week of his earthly life, the week he would offer himself as the ultimate sacrifice for the sins of the world. The cultural context of this event amplifies its significance. In that world, a king riding a war horse signaled war, a king riding a donkey signaled peace. Jesus was publicly declaring that he was the Prince of Peace, bringing a different kind of victory. He wasn't there to start an uprising against Rome. He was there to initiate a revolution in the human heart. He was there to establish a kingdom that is not of this world, a spiritual kingdom where God reigns. This journey from the stable to sovereignty, from the humble manger to the right hand of the Father, is a prophetic masterpiece. Every detail, from the choice of animal to the shouts of the crowd, was laden with meaning, fulfilling ancient scriptures and revealing the nature of God's redemptive plan. It shows us a God who works in ways we don't always expect. We look for power, and he shows us humility. We look for immediate solutions, and he offers eternal salvation. The story of the triumphal entry challenges us to examine our own expectations. Who do we want Jesus to be in our lives? Are we looking for someone to solve all our temporary problems, to make our lives comfortable and easy? Or are we willing to welcome him as he truly is, the humble servant king who calls us to follow him on a path of sacrifice, service, and ultimate victory over sin and death? The journey from the stable was not just Jesus' journey. It's an invitation for us to join him. It's a call to lay down our own cloaks of pride and self-sufficiency, to wave the palms of praise, and to follow the gentle king, not just when it's popular or easy, but all the way. The story didn't end with the cross. It led to an empty tomb and the glorious resurrection. The stable was the beginning, the cross was the means, but the throne was always the destination. He is the sovereign king, and his kingdom will have no end. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration of Jesus' prophetic journey. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that dives deep into the meaning behind these timeless accounts. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care.